A man at a concert tried to shove me out of my front row spot. Snarling, I paid more for my ticket, so I deserve this space. A staff member overheard and said, "Sir, your ticket is general admission. Hers is VIP." His face went pale as security moved him to the back. I had been eagerly awaiting this concert for months. My favorite band was scheduled to perform at Madison Square Garden in New York City, and I had managed to secure a VIP ticket. This ticket not only promised early entry, but also guaranteed a front row spot, exclusive merchandise, and other perks. As someone who stands at just 5 feet 1 inch, being at the front was crucial for me to fully enjoy the experience without any obstructions. On the day of the concert, I arrived at the venue several hours before the doors were set to open. The line for VIP ticket holders was already forming, but I was among the first dozen people. The excitement in the air was palpable as we chatted about our favorite songs and previous concert experiences. When the staff finally ushered us in for the early entry, I felt a surge of exhilaration. I quickly made my way to the front and center of the stage, claiming my spot at the barricade. The hours of waiting had paid off. As the general admission attendees began to fill the venue, the space behind me grew increasingly crowded. Despite the tight quarters, everyone seemed to be in good spirits, eagerly anticipating the start of the show. However, about 15 minutes before the opening act was set to begin, I felt a strong shove from behind. I stumbled forward, gripping the barricade to steady myself. Turning around, I found myself face to face with a tall, broad-shouldered man who appeared to be in his late 30s. "Hey, watch it!" I exclaimed, trying to keep my voice firm despite the nervous flutter in my chest. The man sneered down at me. "I paid more for my ticket, so I deserve this space," he said, his tone dripping with entitlement. I was taken aback. "This is the front row for VIP ticket holders." "I have a VIP ticket," I replied, holding up my laminated pass as evidence. He scoffed. "General admission tickets were expensive too. It's only fair that I get a good spot." Before I could respond, a staff member who had been monitoring the crowd approached us. She was a young woman with a headset and a clipboard, exuding an air of authority. "Is there a problem here?" she asked, her eyes darting between me and the man. "Yes," I began. "This man is trying to push me out of my spot. He claims he paid more for his ticket and deserves to be here." The staff member turned to the man. "Sir, may I see your ticket, please?" He hesitated before pulling out a crumpled piece of paper from his pocket and handing it over. She examined it briefly and then looked up at him. "Sir, your ticket is for general admission. This area is reserved for VIP ticket holders. I'm going to have to ask you to move to the general admission section." His face went pale. He started, but the staff member cut him off. "Security," she called over her shoulder. 2 security guards appeared almost instantly. They were imposing figures, each wearing black shirts emblazoned with the word "security" in bold white letters. "Please escort this gentleman to the general admission area," the staff member instructed. The man opened his mouth as if to argue, but seemed to think better of it. The security guards flanked him on either side and guided him away from the front row. As he disappeared into the crowd, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. "Are you okay?" the staff member asked, turning her attention back to me. "Yes, thank you," I replied, my voice tinged with gratitude. She offered a reassuring smile. "Enjoy the show." The rest of the concert was phenomenal. Being in the front row allowed me to fully immerse myself in the music, and I even managed to catch the lead singers a few times. Despite the earlier incident, the night turned out to be everything I had hoped for and more. Reflecting on the experience, I couldn't help but feel a sense of vindication. Standing up for myself had been daunting, but it was necessary. The staff's swift intervention reinforced the importance of respecting event policies and the value of treating fellow concertgoers with consideration. In the days that followed, I shared my story on Reddit, hoping to highlight the significance of adhering to ticketing rules and the importance of standing one's ground. The response was overwhelming, with many users sharing similar experiences and expressing support. One user commented, "I had a similar experience at a concert last year. It's infuriating when people think they can just take over your spot. Good on you for standing up for yourself." Another added, "This is why I always make sure to get to venues early. People can be so entitled. Glad the staff had your back." Reading these comments, I felt a sense of camaraderie with others who had faced similar challenges. It was a reminder that while concerts are meant to be enjoyable experiences, they can also bring out the worst in some individuals. However, with the support of vigilant staff and the collective respect of attendees, such incidents can be effectively managed. The incident also made me more aware of the complexities involved in event management. Ensuring that ticket holders receive the experience they paid for requires meticulous planning and enforcement of policies. It also highlighted the importance of clear communication between event organizers and attendees to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts. In the end, the concert was a memorable experience, not just because of the incredible performance, but also due to the valuable lessons I learned about standing up for oneself. And so after the concert ended, I hung around the venue for a bit, still on a high from everything that happened. A few other VIPs were doing the same, taking pictures near the stage, chatting, soaking it all in. I noticed the staff from earlier still standing nearby, occasionally scanning the crowd, probably making sure everything stayed calm during the exit rush. I grabbed my phone to text my sister, telling her about the guy who tried to shove me and how security handled it. That's when I noticed a shadow in my peripheral vision. I turned. It was him, the same guy security escorted out earlier. At first, I thought maybe he was just passing through on his way out. But he wasn't. He was staring straight at me. His face was stiff, his jaw clenched. For a second, I froze. Then I slowly backed up a step, glancing around for the staff member who helped earlier. He took a few steps toward me and hissed, "You think you won or something?" I didn't say anything, just stared at him. I knew better than to try reasoning with someone acting like that. He continued, louder this time, "You humiliated me in front of everyone. Just 'cause you had some dumb pass around your neck." That got the attention of the security guards. One of them shouted, "Sir, leave the premises now." But he didn't move. Instead, he looked at me like I'd just stolen something from him. Like I owed him something. Then, as one guard got closer, the guy turned around and rushed toward the exit like nothing had happened. The guard followed him, but I still felt uneasy. Something about his energy stuck with me, like this wasn't the last time I'd see him. I told the staff what had happened, and they were concerned. They apologized again and told me they'd flag his name if he ever tried to come back to one of their events. They even walked me to the rideshare area just to be safe. That should have been the end of it. But a few days later, weird stuff started happening. First, my Instagram account, private, small, mostly friends and food pics, got hit with a bunch of requests from usernames I didn't recognize. Some had no profile pictures, others had names that felt off, like gibberish or long strings of numbers. Then I started getting DMs, stuff like, "Enjoy your little VIP life," and "Some people don't forget." I blocked them, reported them, shrugged it off as bots at first. But then one of the usernames changed their profile photo to a blurry pic from the concert. One of me, clearly taken from behind. Now I was freaked out. I didn't post that photo anywhere. It wasn't on my account. It wasn't public. Someone else took it. I reported everything again. Told my friends and family to be careful with their privacy settings. Then I went silent on social for a bit. But it didn't stop. Next thing, I get a pizza delivered to my apartment. I didn't order it. The name on the receipt said "Stage Stealer." No phone number. No real info. Just a paid order sent to my building. I didn't eat it, obviously. I called the pizza place, told them it wasn't mine, and they said someone placed it online using a gift card. Completely anonymous. A week passed. I started to relax, thinking maybe the creep finally gave up. Until I got to work one morning and my coworker handed me an envelope. No name on it. Just my name scrawled in big, uneven handwriting. Inside? A printed screenshot of one of my blocked Instagram DMs. Some people don't forget. My stomach dropped. This wasn't random anymore. This was personal. This guy wasn't just mad about the concert, he was trying to get in my head. And it was working. I went to HR. I explained everything. They took it seriously, thankfully, and looped in building security. We reviewed footage, but no one saw who dropped off the envelope. It could have been anyone during the morning rush. I filed a police report. Gave them all the screenshots, usernames, photos. They said they'd look into it but warned that unless the guy made a clear threat or showed up again, there wasn't much they could do right away. It was frustrating, but I understood. So now I've got security watching the office, cameras at my apartment, and friends checking in constantly. I even carry a pocket alarm and pepper spray, just in case. I hate that it's come to this, but I also know I'm not going to let some unstable stranger scare me out of living my life. Still, I can't help but feel like this isn't over yet. A few more weeks passed and life started to settle again. The DMs stopped. No weird deliveries. No creepy envelopes. I started to feel like maybe he gave up after the police report. Maybe the system spooked him enough. Until I got a call from my bank. They flagged unusual activity on my account. Someone had tried to use my debit card number to buy concert tickets through a third-party site. Thankfully, the transaction didn't go through because of my fraud alerts, but it got me thinking, how did they even get my card info? I hadn't used that card anywhere suspicious. It wasn't connected to my social media or even saved in autofill. That's when I remembered the pizza delivery. I hadn't paid for it, but maybe he ordered it just to confirm my address was still valid. And if he used a hacked site to order it, maybe he'd gotten other personal info about me while he was at it. I froze. This wasn't random harassment anymore. This guy was digging, trying to get into my life deeper than before. I went back to the police. They added it to the report. They told me to change all my passwords, set up two-factor on everything, and monitor my credit. I did all of that immediately. Even got one of those credit monitoring services. But I couldn't shake the feeling that he was always one step behind me, quiet, watching. Then one night, around 2 a.m., I heard someone knock on my apartment door. Not bang knock. 3 slow taps. I live alone. No one comes by unannounced, especially not in the middle of the night. I didn't move, didn't speak. Just sat frozen on my couch with my phone in one hand and the other gripping the pepper spray. I peeked through the peephole after a long minute. No one. But when I opened my door the next morning to leave for work, there was something taped to it. A printed photo of me. From that same concert. Same VIP spot. But this time, there was a red marker line drawn through my face. No note. No words. Just that. I snapped a photo of it, carefully bagged it in a Ziploc, and took it straight to the police. This time, they took things a little more seriously. They mentioned the word stalking out loud. That opened some doors, at least a little. They asked me if I knew who this person might be. I gave them everything I remembered. Description, the ticket issue, the staff who were there. I also reached out to the concert venue myself. Told them what had happened. They remembered the guy. Apparently, he had tried the same thing at a couple other events, shoving to the front, saying he deserved better spots, getting aggressive. He had a pattern. And then came the real twist. One of the staff members from the venue emailed me personally. Said they remembered my situation and wanted me to know something they thought might help. They attached a short video clip from the night of the concert. A bit of security footage. The man, same guy who shoved me, was seen lingering near the VIP check-in table earlier in the evening. He wasn't arguing or doing anything at that moment. But he was watching people check in. Watching passes being handed out. Watching names being called. And then, later in the clip, he was standing off to the side, watching me specifically. From the moment I got in line, he had been watching me. Not in a casual way. In a targeted, fixed kind of way. The venue said they didn't catch it that night because he didn't do anything technically wrong in the footage, but now, looking back, it was clear. He had chosen me before the concert even began. I wasn't some random victim of a shoving match. He planned it. That chilled me more than anything. I realized this wasn't about a ticket. Not really. That was just the excuse. He had focused on me for some other reason. Maybe I looked like someone he knew. Maybe he picked me because I was alone. Maybe I smiled too big, looked too excited, and it rubbed him the wrong way. I don't know. All I know is that it wasn't about entitlement anymore. It was about obsession. I told my building management. They added extra cameras. Let me park closer to the entrance. I changed my locks, got a door camera, even moved in with my sister temporarily just to breathe again. But part of me wonders if he knows that too. If he's still watching, waiting for the next move. I just hope I'm ready when he makes it. It all came to a head one Friday night, about 2 months after the last knock. I had finally moved back into my apartment, thinking enough time had passed. The cameras were up, locks replaced, security alerts set on every account. I felt cautious, but I wanted to take back my life. Living scared wasn't living. That night, my friend Sam came over. We were watching old horror movies, just trying to laugh and eat junk food like things were normal again. Around midnight, Sam went to leave, and I walked her to the door. That's when we saw it. A small box on my doormat. Plain cardboard, no label, no markings. Sam looked at me and whispered, "Do we open it?" We didn't. We called the cops. They came quickly, took the box out like it could explode. Bomb squad was called, which felt unreal. But it wasn't a bomb. Inside was a black hoodie, the same one that guy had worn the night of the concert. Folded neatly. And underneath it? A cheap printed photo of me. My work ID photo. The word thief written across it in red marker. That broke something in me. I wasn't scared anymore. I was furious. I'd followed every rule, reported every incident, changed my life, hid, and still he was haunting me like I'd stolen something from him. I realized I had to stop relying on people to fix this for me. He wasn't going to stop until I stopped him. So I did something bold, something stupid, something I would later regret, but not completely. I made a fake post on a local event page. Said the band from that concert was doing a surprise reunion show at a small venue downtown. Free entry. General admission only. First come, first serve. I used a throwaway email. Designed a fake flyer. Posted it on every thread I knew this guy lurked on. Reddit, Facebook groups, concert forums. I made it look legit. Then I went to that venue myself. I parked across the street in my friend's car, tinted windows, phone ready. We waited. And sure enough, 2 hours before the fake event time, he showed up. Same guy. Same hoodie. Backpack slung low, scoping the crowd that hadn't formed yet. He looked confused. Then annoyed. He paced. He checked his phone. Then, finally, he tried the door. It was locked. He knocked, looked around, tried again. That's when I called the cops. I gave them everything. Told them this man was stalking me. That he had shown up with unknown intentions. That I feared what was in that bag on his back. This time, they came fast and ready. They stopped him. Questioned him. Found zip ties, gloves, and a second phone in that backpack. That second phone? It had over 200 pictures of me. Screenshots of my old social posts. Photos of my building. My sister's house. My work parking lot. They arrested him on the spot. It wasn't just stalking anymore. It was intent. Turns out he had a sealed record. Previous restraining orders in 2 other states. The concert? That was just when I entered his story. He didn't get out this time. He's in custody now, facing real charges. Harassment, stalking, unlawful surveillance. The whole mess is in court, and I'm involved in every hearing. I show up. I make sure he sees me not as a scared target, but as someone who fought back. But here's where I'll admit something hard. I made mistakes too. I didn't trust my gut fast enough. I let him get too close. I went back home too early, And the bait? Setting that fake event? It was reckless. Dangerous. The cops weren't happy about it, and they were right. I could have put others at risk. But it worked. I don't regret being the one to end it, but I regret how far I let it go before taking full control. I regret how long I stayed quiet. So here's what I'll say to anyone reading this. If you feel something's wrong, act. Don't wait for permission. Don't let politeness be your downfall. Speak. Fight. Be loud. Be seen. Because sometimes the only thing standing between you and someone else's madness is you.